Once the intro starts, we will know. Yeah, buddy. Here we go.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
welcome to the Fourth Wall Podcast.
Yep.
Live. The Fourth Wall Podcast live. I'm your host, Daniel Carpenter.
And I'm your host, Jeffrey Hernandez. This is powered by Hard Knock Labs. This is great. This is a new platform that we're using. We're incredibly excited. I had a question, and but before we start getting
Sure.
into things, that was asked to me these these last couple days. Great job
Sure.
with the intro. I mean, come on, guys. If you like the intro, come on, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, guys, let us know. Let us know.
Uh,
And we're also talking to you guys live, too. So please feel free to jump in. We can see all your comments here.
And so the live aspect of it, people are asking me, what's the fourth wall? Well, the fourth wall is when you break what's going on and speaking to the audience, and that's what the
Right.
fourth wall podcast is. Isn't that what we're doing, Carpenter? We're speaking directly to the audience. The audience can
Yeah.
respond back to us if they want. We're speaking directly to them. And now, am I wrong? Go ahead, try to correct me if I'm right.
No, I wouldn't correct you if you're right.
I
No,
tried to
but
sneak that in there.
look at you. But no, yeah, it's exactly what it is. So the fourth wall in theater and film, you see it a lot in The Office. They break the fourth wall. They talk directly to the camera, um, and it's one of those things where that's what we're doing. We're usually, I know Jeffrey and myself both are usually on recorded media, and then it plays later. So this is our opportunity to break that fourth wall and speak to everybody as it goes. Um, but today is a big day in the
Fuck.
United States of America. It
God
really
damn
is,
it.
and
Devin wasn't
it's
you didn't want to use Devin instead.
oh, Devin's gonna make his way in here. We're gonna bring him in just a few minutes, actually.
So, come right now.
But what I wanted to say is, no matter what happens with this country, no matter who got elected, no matter who is in office, I think it's important for all of us to just band together because there are a lot of things that a lot of us agree on. We all want to be able to afford buying a house. We all want to be able to afford gas. We all want to be able to live the American dream. As of lately, it's been tough on a lot of Americans. And I think this is our job now. The election's done, but our job starts now because we need to be able to speak to people like they're people and not pigeonhole people just because I mean most of the views are right on. Don't you think? I mean most of the views between both sides are pretty similar
Mhm.
um, as far as that goes. But we do have one of our repeat offenders, Devin, Devin Papagiannis, Devin Shire. He is a comedian out of South Florida or Central Florida, and he is coming into the live now. What up, big dog?
What up, guys? What up? How we doing?
Doing well. It's a beautiful
Good.
day.
Before we start, what the hell does pigeonhole mean? Who holds pigeons? How do you
Why did
hold a
you?
pigeon?
How'd you sound like a pigeonhole as you said it? Who? No,
Fair enough.
pigeonhole means like you're like
Holding a pigeon.
HOL. No, HOLED. Pigeonholed.
Hold.
Like
H-O.
it's a
Yeah, you
small,
hold. You hold a fucking pigeon.
not like holding a hole.
Oh, wait.
A pigeonhole? Like,
Pigeonhole, not
No, Devin. No, Devin. No, Devin. No, not even remotely
no.
close.
Pigeonholed like HOLED. Like a birdhouse has a hole for a pigeon to go into it. It's a very small hole.
do
So
those hold
only cer- I
like
feel like we're
pets?
talking too much about holes.
All right, fair enough. All right, I'm good. We can. I'm just curious.
So Jeffrey, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts? What are your thoughts on
What?
this election, buddy?
All right. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not talking about pigeons or holes from here on out. That's number one.
That's a wild claim to make, but I'm gonna hold you to it. I'm going to.
Number two.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
Oh Lord.
Just why?
Just why?
Just why? Just why? I got so much faith in you, and you just do this shit.
I'm a good boy.
Oh my god, I say that all the time. About me, not you. I don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this came out wrong. Look, when it comes down to the election, the truth of the matter is it doesn't matter. This is what it is, and whether you're a supporter or a non-supporter, the truth of the matter is that hey, this is what it's going to be for the next 4 years, and this is what the country voted for, and everyone had their fair chance. And whether because I mean I would hate to see, which I would have known to see if it would have went the other way, to see another crowd barking, saying ugly things, and so I don't want to see that from this particular side that always says, hey,
that's already happened. That's already
Yeah.
happened.
yeah, and so my take on it is just like, look, this is the next 4 years. We got front row seats. Let's go ahead and deal with it. I have to deal with you. I have to deal with Devin. I got to deal with you guys. Hopefully for the next 4 years, and that's a more thing that
So
that interacts with my life more than the general populace.
you're more inclined to worry about what's going on in your life for the next 4 years than there is with any
Yeah.
like within the scheme of the world,
Yeah.
basically, right?
Yeah. Politics are
And
messy.
Yeah, Devin,
Everything's
what's your take on the election and how it panned out?
That Trump beat out both women candidates that ever tried to run for president. What up?
And then you got ignorant shit like that, which is great.
My brothers said this. My brothers is like, look, I'm happy for him, but the only people that you beat is women. And I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny, but I mean, at the same time, kind of fucked up.
Women and elderly people. That's about it.
No, this is this. How many terms has he already served?
You can only serve two as a president, man.
He's served one term already, so this will be his
So the second
final
term. He can't do anymore. How do you not know this?
'Cause I don't
Some
follow
people
politics.
Hey,
Listen.
don't. Hey, okay, all right.
A lot of people's politics. A lot of people's
Look, white
politics.
man.
See,
Fair enough.
Let me tell you right now about you and your Floridian ways.
A lot of people's politics are influenced by how they grew up at home and what their parents were and what their family were. And I
Yeah.
can tell you, my family is full of felons, so we just don't give a fuck about the government.
yeah, I got that. Okay. So and so the thing that surprised me, I think, the most was the amount of votes that were cast for Donald Trump. I was watching the results come in, and it was just, it's nuts. I mean, like you had such a strong narrative coming from the left and such a strong narrative coming from the right that there's no way Donald Trump could win again from the left, and the right saying, we hope he wins again, but we're not 100% sure if he can. The thing that surprised me the most with his breakout with Latinos and the black voter, and especially young people. You got this guy who's almost 80 years old, who is literally holding the ear of the youngest generation. And not only are they listening, they're going out and actionizing it by voting. Which was surprising to me because, Kamala had every opportunity to get the young vote. She brought out Megan Thee Stallion. She brought out Beyonce. She brought out everything. But I feel people just saw the past 4 years, and she loudly and clearly stated on multiple occasions that she felt like Joe Biden didn't do anything wrong during his presidency. and people are going to look at you and say, "Hey, inflation's crazy, gas is up. If you can't figure out how to fix this, then we don't even want to give you the. If you don't think anything's broken, then we don't want to give you an opportunity to fix
Were you brushing your beard?
it." Was he brushing his beard?
I was
Well,
listening.
Yeah, but when did you put a brush to your face?
Yes.
No,
So
no.
So Jeffrey, what are your thoughts on that outside of him brushing his beard?
I told you we should have waited before we brought him on.
All right, so Devin, since Jeff won't answer it, Devin, what are your thoughts on that as far as the vote goes between Hispanic and Black voters?
He's brushing his goddamn beard.
I was listening.
We're gonna
All right.
mute Jeffrey if we have to.
What do you mean we? I'm a co-host.
I think it only comes down to. I think it comes down to what everybody thought was best for the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
He's not muted, but he's acting
Yeah.
like he is.
So
I'm not. You can hear me. That's fucked up.
Black, Spanish, white, it doesn't matter. We all see the issues that are arising. We see what she was capable of, what she didn't do, and whether you like the guy or not, he's way more capable of the job. At least with Trump, at least the government also doesn't like Trump.
That's true.
Yeah.
Camilla, she would just go ahead and fold and bend and win. Kamala.
He said Camille. Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala.
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 But yeah, so yeah, that was the most surprising part to me, and I think like I said earlier, I think it really comes down because Jeff and I have different political parties. I lean more conservative, I would say, and he says he leans more liberal in a way.
And then there's me, and I'm like, the government doesn't care about any of us,
which is true, yeah. But Jeff and I have never really had an outlandish argument about it.
Why is he like this?
I'm gonna mute you, Jeffrey. I am gonna mute you. You're not muted. Oh. I didn't mute you. Yeah. So if you could just do that all the time when you speak, just don't. That'd be awesome. No, but yeah, so Jeff and I have the reason I'm making this point is because it's important, because I know families get divided over this and friendships get thrown to the wayside because of a disagreement in politics. And I think that's A, stupid, and B, irresponsible. No matter Jeff and I are friends because we're friends and we align on a lot of things. Never would I allow a political party to come in between my family or my friendships. So I hope the viewers, when you see this, or if you are watching it currently, just, take a breath, sit down, relax, go to your safe space if you got one, and let's just all move forward, and hopefully everything will come out the best way possible. I am excited about us becoming energy independent. I think that's going to be great. I am excited that literally the smartest man in the world is probably going to be heading up a division of, I don't know, space exploration.
Oh, yeah. Elon. I saw he's getting his little team together. His little Legion of Doom.
And RFK, who independents and Democrats love together, is going to make America healthy again. That's his job in the new upcoming administration. And
what we needed a president that was going to put us forward. We needed a president that was going to think of us in this time, because we're hurting as a country. And we're over there. Kamala would more than likely screw it all up. I don't know. I'm not intelligent when it comes to politics. I'm not an educated man when it comes to this. So if anybody wants to come back at me for anything I said, show them that clip.
Show them that clip.
Yeah.
Jeff, you've been quite silent.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and talk about how you guys feel. Absolutely.
You're a host of the show. Let's hear your opinion on this.
All right. So my opinion, frankly, is that, hey, this is what half the country voted for, and I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to dispute it. I'm not going to call anybody stupid. I'm not going to call anybody ignorant or mean or the things that have been mentioned because I think that's horrible. Personally, you can't,
It
you
is.
can't, you can't. I've been all across the country.
Yeah.
I've been all across the country, and everyone says that we're divided. We're not as divided as people think. Everyone, whether they're extreme right or left, they all
Uh-huh.
say the same thing. We want to make sure that we take care of our families, and that's really what I've heard from most aspects of it. I think
Yeah.
it's wrong, and the theatrics of all this has just been absolutely really hard to digest. I'm happy it's over, and hey, the reality of it is, this is the
Yeah.
4 years, and there's no reason to complain. Let's move
Yeah.
forward and continue what needs to be. Hopefully, the circus act, the circus of it calms down just a little bit. But I mean,
I think it
hmm,
will. I think it
well,
will.
hopefully, but at the same time, I can't control anything about that. All I
Yeah.
can do is continue doing what I'm doing and hope that the people that did support that particular side are right.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, there was that 70 plus million votes for Donald Trump, which is insane.
Yeah, the numbers don't impress me. 70 million people and like 60 million people for Kamala. So if you do the math, what is that? Like 120, 110,000, 110 million, 120 million people.
Yep.
Yeah, there's 330 million people in this country. I enjoy what Australia does. It's illegal for you. You get fined if you don't vote in
Yeah.
Australia. And
Yeah.
I like that aspect. Why? Because this way you have to be involved. It's your
Yeah.
country. So I like that aspect of it. You have to vote. You can't have an opinion if you don't vote. But
Yeah.
they make it a law in Australia where you have. I mean, there's a bunch of other stupid things that go on in Australia, but that one I like. That one I
Yeah.
particularly like. Yeah. I would like to see a few things in America that uh, mm, adopted certain things in other countries. Number one is traveling. It's kind of hard when you only get 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
A lot of countries get 1 month, and I think traveling is important. So you
It
can
is.
go ahead and make a decision. I mean, it's hard to call America number one when you've only been to America.
True. Yeah.
I mean, I've been to so many countries around the world, and they're happy in whatever dynamics, whether they're socialist or however they do things. But I mean, they're happy doing it, and they want to be left alone being it that way. And I
Yeah.
think it's important for other people to travel to other places. I mean, just even traveling the country. Hey,
Hmm.
man, California is not New York. Those
No.
people are not New York. So I guarantee you, the person from Iowa is not the same person as the person from Greece.
Right.
So I'd like to see the fact that
Well,
we're going to travel. I'm
that
sorry.
was one thing. That was one thing that surprised me too. You're talking about California. As I watched some of the results come in, a lot of the Senate and House seats in California have went red, because California, and for argument's sake, has gotten out of hand, with the homelessness issue and all that stuff. Which San Francisco, I've been up there a couple times, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous city, but it's just like San Diego. You take a right down one street, and it is literally a tent city. So, yeah, that's something that needs to be fixed, and a problem that has been a problem. And it's not a Republican or Democrat problem. It's an America problem. And I think that's the highlight that we need to focus on, is what are America's problems. Um, as opposed to trying to pigeonhole it towards being, oh, the right wants this, the left wants this. Well, let's find out the things that we all want and focus on those, because those are what's going to make everybody happy.
Say what you want about P. Diddy, but vote or die.
Oh man, oh boy. That's ridiculous. I do remember he had that whole campaign for so long. What part was that for? I'm just kidding. That's wild. Speaking of P. Diddy,
this is why we had a conversation of not adding him on until like at least 15 minutes into it because of this shit.
You told me to bring him in because we were talking politics out the gate.
I was gonna. Did you hear what he said about P. Diddy just a second ago?
Vote or die. You just said it should be made illegal to not vote in the United States. So yeah,
vote or die. Yeah,
it would be aligned with your views. Vote or fined. You get vote or fined.
Yeah. Does your name say Devon Shire? Why doesn't it say your full name? Because you're hiding.
He's a small town in London.
Devonshire Pep, because all my comedy stuff is listed as Devonshire. Pepianis isn't really my last name. It's just the name of a man that I was told was his.
That's interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
And moving right along. So.
I was lied to my whole life, Jeff. This is why I am the way I am.
Oh boy, this seems like a personal attack against Jeff.
It's a lot. I mean, you couldn't wait to tell me this in private.
You asked a question and I answered it. It's like my child. I tell my son questions. When he asks us questions, he gets answered them honestly and truthfully. If he's old enough to ask a question, he's old enough to get the answer. And I treat it all the same. You ask a question, you get an answer, which I do regret with him because I was listening to like he asked where babies came from the other day.
Oh wow!
Right?
Oh
so
God!
We told him,
isn't your kid only like 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, kids ask those questions.
Yeah, we told him. We said, yeah, a man and a woman, they're in love, they have sex, whatever, So he understands. And then the other day I was listening to music in the car with him, and he was like, "Hey, Devin, how come you listen to music about sex if you don't have any?"
He calls you Devin?
Yeah.
And he said, how come you... Wow. He hits you with a hard body shot right there.
I know. Dude, it hurt. It fucking hurt. It hurt. But as a comic, as a dad, that fucking, as a man, that hurt me. As a comic, I was so happy.
He's got good timing.
Yeah,
great timing.
So Carpenter remembers the story I used to tell. I remember I asked my dad. Carpenter remembers this story. I asked my father once. I said, "Pops, sex." He goes, "Let me tell you about sex. You're about that age right now." And he says, "Guys learn sex through porn. We learn it through porn." And he goes, "I want you to go ahead and watch this porn." And he goes, "Look at the way I'm grabbing the back of your mother's head right there."
Oh,
that's wild. That's so funny.
That is nuts.
You remember that, Daniel?
Dude, so that's one of Jeff's. So I can do Jeff's set front to back, not because I want to, but because I've seen it. I don't know, probably more times than I've probably seen his set more times than anyone. I would argue.
Okay, for anybody just tuning in, by set, he means Jeff's penis.
What's that?
So if anybody just tuning in, by set, he means Jeff's penis.
No, that's not what I mean.
Oh man, what's wrong?
Devin,
with Devin?
Come on, Devin.
Come on, man. Yeah, you can do better than that, man. That's just.
You're right. I'm sorry. That was low. That was low hanging fruit. I apologize.
Low hanging fruit.
That's where you should have done the pun on the low hanging fruit. Anyway,
man, come on. I can't you on that one. That's just bad. Hey, your haircut.
That was
sucks.
sloppy.
No,
you know what? I deserve that. No, it's okay. I deserve that.
But anyway, So yeah, like I said, arguably, I think I've seen his set more than anybody
More than
ever.
I have. More than I have.
It's possible. It's very possible. But
It's actually
it's
impossible.
you're right. It is actually very impossible. Um, but his
So
set, there's multiple comedians out there that like literally, I know it front to back, and that's one of his that I know. The Santa Claus joke is huge, and it was all because I went to that. We used to produce the show. We used to sell the show, and it was rocking. And over the course of the time, what 4 clubs, and we were in two to three weekly.
yeah, and so Gabe, my cousin, he brought this up to me. He said, "Why wouldn't you do a show on Halloween?" There's 2 days I never dealt with a show. That was Halloween, and that was Super Bowl. I would do a show on Christmas.
Yeah,
Carpenter, we would spend Christmas together. Thanksgiving, those shows, you could do them in New York. I can't speak across the country, but in New York,
yeah,
the only days that were difficult was
yeah,
Halloween because everybody wanted to go to some type of Halloween party and Super Bowl because even if you're visiting, you still wanted to go to see the Super Bowl because that was an American festivity. Besides that, Christmas was open game, New Year's Eve was open game, any day was open game. 4th of July, yeah, just
yeah,
do the show a little bit later after the fireworks, and people want someplace to go. But Halloween and Super Bowl, we'd never touch
yeah. I don't
it.
blame you.
Yeah,
But
yeah. That's
that's a
reality.
great point to bring up, though, because we do have you do have an announcement to make about Hard Knock Laughs in its own right. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. Jeffrey, go ahead.
Are you blowing your nose? That's your drum roll. You can't do. Can you do better than that, Devin?
Wasn't me, but I can.
There we go. I like this one. All right, so I don't know who's watching this or what clips we'll get from it, but I will say this: the podcast has been something that it's been a project of passion, which we've all been enjoying. Also, we've been working on a particular television project, which this is the footsteps to it, Hard Knock Laughs. But we are doing a show with the 20th anniversary. It'll be my 20th anniversary, but it'll be a Hard Knock Laugh show in Boston, Massachusetts. We're actually eyeing 2 other cities, which is DC and New York City before then, within this 3 weeks, and that'll be in April. And that should be an exciting little thing. We're looking for not just a good turnout, which we'll deliver there, but to be able to give the opportunity to give a great show.
Yeah,
And that'll be in April.
yeah,
So Hard Knock Laughs still knocking.
yes.
20 years later,
Knocking.
20 years.
and look how young
Yeah.
Jeff still looks.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have children.
I
What?
have a child.
That's
And
what
you look old as fuck.
that's what
You look old as fuck.
well,
I am old.
I'm older than all of you guys. Look at it. We're all wearing glasses. I'm the only one that looks like I should be wearing
yeah.
No, I think Carpenter looks the oldest.
them.
I look the oldest, really, out of
Yeah, I
everybody.
think Carpenter. Yeah,
He's got
Yes.
3 stepkids. He's got 3 stepkids. Of course, he's gonna look older. Poor
you
guy.
do? You 3 stepkids? That's a lot of stepkids.
I mean, so in a technicality, so yes, I help parent. I help parent 2 children that are still in the household. The oldest is out of the household, so
Okay,
she's 19. Yep.
all right.
But
Look at you.
yeah, so
You think those wrinkles are natural? This guy wakes up like, what the hell did you do with the dishwasher?
sometimes. some of those, it's surprising to me, but it's actually always it's not that surprising because then I remind myself of like how I was as like a 12-year-old, and I'm like, oh wow, like you're taking it easy on me, thank you,
Listen, dude,
because
Dude,
it was
I'm jealous, man. You could walk away from yours. I can't.
Oh my God, that's horrible. That is horrible. That is absolutely horrible. Why would
pretty
you say
brutal.
that? You're gonna.
Yeah.
God is going to judge you one day.
I think he already has.
Oh, yep.
Devin's the reason for all the hurricanes.
Nope, that's the government.
Yeah, Carpenter does some cool things with his kids. I'm not gonna go ahead and put too much of your personal business out, but he was just like, yeah. So we give like $5 an A in the report card,
Yeah,
$4.
$4 for a B, $3 for a C, and then you
Yeah.
don't get anything for a D or an F.
Right?
Yeah,
But you get $100 if you don't say anything and you keep our secret.
That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done.
I didn't know we brought Tony Hinchcliffe in today.
No, actually, I'm taking Oliver to we have a Renaissance fair in Sarasota. That's every weekend in November. Yeah, so we got some matching costumes.
You get $100 if you go ahead.
You don't repeat it, Jeffrey. It's messed up.
It's really funny though.
It's really messed up.
I know it's horrible. You're the one. I told
Never
you we
again.
should have. I told you we should have waited for him. This is your fault. I told you. I swear to God.
We are 31 minutes in, so
Oh,
you
I would have
can-
been
This is when
when
he was supposed to be coming in, not before. He would have not done that 30 minutes in. Jesus Christ, that's so horrible what you said, Devin.
yeah, it's terrible.
Okay, I'm sorry. I do apologize.
But yeah, I really like it. Do
I
it
more or
again.
less heard it with you guys when I said it, and I do apologize.
You do realize this is live.
It is. It
Well,
definitely
it was a
is.
joke. We're all
It was
comedians.
a joke.
We're all
Truth.
comedians. It was a joke. You know.
and that's a prime example of
Yeah.
how people need to be able to just take words and realize their words.
Great, then fuck you and fuck you.
Hold on. But also keep in mind, words are spells. Words are spells.
Yeah.
So if you tell yourself something enough, you'll end up having it. If you don't, then you won't. So it's interesting. But when it
I
comes down
got
to
herpes then.
no, you're supposed to say I don't have it, so it'll go away. Anyway.
Oh.
But yeah,
All right,
so
that's a clip. That's a clip.
No.
You're gonna clip it. Jeff has a big announcement to make, and then it's go. I have herpes.
that's exactly what's gonna happen.
No,
That's
it's not.
fantastic.
No, it's not.
That's the clip.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, that's clip. For sure.
We were talking about something completely different. That's fucked up.
That was your choice, bud.
And that shows all of us how the news takes things out of context and puts.
Yeah,
it
great.
into
So
their
let's be
own
better than that and not do that. Don't tell people
No.
I have herpes, which I don't.
It works for the news. It'll work for us.
Okay, Jeff.
I don't have herpes. I'll show you right now.
Please don't. We're already
Yeah.
on the edge of getting restricted, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's where we sit, boys.
That's where we sit, right on the line of.
Right on the line. All the feet just dangling off the edge.
Oh man! So
No, let me go ahead if you don't mind.
go for it. I don't care.
Look, so I know I just breezed by it, but this show in April is supposed it's an exciting one. This is one where Hard Knock Laughs kind of returns, and I hope to see both of you there.
Oh, definitely. There's no
Oh,
way
dude,
I could.
yeah.
I haven't missed the show yet. So, well, I did miss the Vegas one, but that was tough.
It was
It was tough to
pandemic.
get out
It was pandemic.
Yeah,
I
it
will
was pandemic.
hitchhike and sell my booty cheeks just to come see your show.
Oh Lord.
See, there's a clip. Not me with herpes.
Oh, it's gonna go from you have herpes to he's gonna sell his booty cheeks. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
perfect.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, to get to
No,
the show,
no.
that's how
I have a
dedicated
big
I am and
announcement to make.
inspired.
I have herpes,
See it.
and I'm gonna sell my booty cheeks. There it is. That's
So,
the whole thing.
Listen, if anybody's willing to drive me from Florida to Boston, you clap these cheeks.
Oh my god,
Ew.
that can't be true. That can't be true.
Yo,
You get one back shot for every 100 miles.
That's ridiculous, Steph. There's no way.
It's like 10 back shots.
yo, I would so start a GoFundMe for this.
I don't think we're gonna have to. I don't think we're gonna have to. I'm sure there will be plenty of takers.
I am so. I mean,
Thank you, thank you, Daniel. That's really nice of you to say. I appreciate that.
I guess it's a compliment, but I was talking more about the sexually deranged people in the world. But
Oh yeah, no,
But
I'll definitely fly Spirit and get fucked that way. Don't worry.
they said Spirit Airlines is you're gonna become a Spirit Airlines.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, it's going to be rough and bumpy, and I'm not going to enjoy it.
It's the true.
You
It's
know?
the true turn you into a soul plane.
I see. Yeah, I understood the joke, Carpenter. I so want this to be real. Yo, Devin, I swear to God, yes, do the road trip.
Oh my god.
I would love to hear the ending story of this.
Jeff's just gonna be in different disguises every 100 miles driving.
Right, in different cars to wear different disguises. He'll drop me off one place.
Hey, I need a ride, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, is your name Devin Shire? No. Devin Papagiannis? No.
Mhm.
Is your name Devin? Yeah, that works. Get in.
Get in the
I
car.
heard you driving across the country.
I heard you need a ride.
It's like that. It's like that one reel, the trending one that people are doing. Hey, they're at the drive-thru and they're like, just want to let you know you have a homeless woman out here who's offering sexual favors for a Big Mac with no onions and a medium fry. And they're like, oh my God, we'll get her out of there. He's like, yeah, so can I get a Big Mac with no onions and a medium fry?
Yo, so years ago, Carpenter and I, we would do. God, I feel like this is a whole lifetime ago. It kind of is. We used to do like high-end catering, and we did it for the Rockettes. The amount of food that gets thrown out is unbelievable. I'm talking about great food. We had these like chicken wraps or whatever they were. They weren't easy to make. And they were really high end. They were meant for a bunch of Broadway performers. And would you stop brushing your fucking beard?
Sorry.
Would you stop with the beard brushing?
That was the Rockettes, wasn't it?
That was the Rockettes. And we had like 40 sandwiches or wraps. And I was like, what do you want me to do with it? Just like throw it away. And I was like, I'm going to throw away perfectly good wraps. I went on the street of New York City and because we had like an hour and a half to blow. And I just went out there and I was trying to offer them to homeless people. There's not a homeless person that took it. They were just like, I can't drink this. No, I don't want food. I want money. I ended up going to our local bar and I just put down all these things, but no homeless person was willing to take the sandwiches. Like, man, I don't want this.
They ended up loving it at Dave's. Rest in peace, Dave. But when we would get done with that gig, we would go over there with. Remember, we'd bring, because we were driving at the time. We had the company car or whatever, the rental, and we would bring full trays of lasagna, manicotti, whatever was on the menu that day that didn't get ate, and it was fresh food. It was fresh food.
Sometimes it was like rack of lamb.
Yeah, for real. And we would literally walk in there with paper plates set down, and people loved it. You know. But yeah, that was wild because in most cities, prepared food can't be given to homeless shelters. It has to be unprepared. So if you have cooked food already, they won't take it.
Yeah, that's almost every city in the country. It's almost every city. Yeah, because people can poison it and shit.
Yeah.
The homeless people are crazy nowadays. Though I went to Austin, Texas, and it was There were a lot of them out there. And at what point
Yeah.
do you got to stop being, like somebody come up to you, like, can you just be like, fuck off?
Yeah. Keep,
You know what I mean? Like,
probably the "Keep Austin Weird" slogan has probably brought a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because like California has a lot of homeless people, and we obviously know why. It's
Yeah.
perfect weather. You know what I'm saying? And we probably know. Homeless people. There's a lot of homeless people that travel well, actually, which is surprising.
No, they
You know?
guilt trip you. It's good. They guilt trip you into giving them money. This guy's like, "Hey man, can I get some money so I can do this to get out of here?" And then he asks me, he's like, "What would Jesus do?" He's
Well,
like, "Motherfucker, he'll walk. Jesus
Yeah,
would walk.
that's
He ain't catching
he
the
would-
bus. Now have a good day."
That's not true. Jesus used to hang out with prostitutes and stuff like that. He used to help the people of deity. That's not
Jesus died a virgin.
Yeah, well, he never died, actually. Well, we don't know, quote unquote. The world doesn't know. I know, but the world
He had
doesn't know.
he had a gap. He had a gap between the teenage years until he was in his 30s.
Where he was often,
traveling the world.
Yeah,
But Devin, but before you continue with this, just so you know, Carpenter is a very religious individual.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
Jewish.
I'm not Jewish. My nose is, but I but I am. I would say I guess you could call me religious. I
Don't talk
believe
shit
the
about
Bible.
Jesus. Don't talk shit about Jesus, Devin.
I didn't.
No,
I said he would
it
walk.
wasn't. It
Jesus
wasn't.
would walk.
He would walk like to get where he needs to go, is what Devin was saying.
Exactly.
Not like he would walk away from the homeless guy.
No,
No. So
but I'm not
That's what-
Jesus.
that's very true. and I think that's some good news.
And sin is to be forgiven, so I'm allowed to sin.
Jesus.
You have the choice of free will. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely do.
And-
And so did 77 million Americans.
Hey, is there a way that you can track if anybody's watching this right now?
Huh?
Can you track if anybody's watching this right now? Is there? We're live, but can anybody chime in? What's going on here?
They have to chime in. Where are you going?
I have to go answer the door.
Oh, okay.
Is this where you're held hostage, Jeff? Oh, he's gone.
We just removed him from the stage. We'll put him back when he's back.
Oh,
But yeah, so we are live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube right now. We are live on the Hard Knock Laughs page. So if nobody's watching it, it's only Jeff's fault. So
that's okay. We're getting it.
but so yeah, I think the thing I'm most excited about is Elon. It's going to be interesting to see what Elon Musk can do for us.
I don't know. I feel like he's today's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't go evil.
Bro, you know what? They all could easily. You know?
I don't know. I figured.
Can you see a Trump tyranny? Yes or no?
No, definitely not.
No? You don't
No.
think he'll be like, no more voting? All me,
Definitely
all
fucking
the
not.
time. The people spoken. They said it once. They don't need to say it again.
Definitely not. I don't see it. I don't see that being a possibility.
He's like, I'm bringing
the
my
thing-
buddy Putin and Kim over, and we're just gonna be talking about how we're gonna make the rest of the world like us.
Yeah, no, I don't see a Trump tyranny happening. If it would have happened, it would have happened during his first 4 years when he had the opportunity because the entire world was shut down. There was nobody moving or traveling anywhere. So if you were going to take
Yeah, but
over a country, it'd be at
He
that
now
time.
has roots.
Yeah, but he's never been a tyrannical guy with anything really. Yeah, so I don't see it. I don't see it being a feasible
Wow.
possibility.
Now you ever
Do
see
you?
the man on the high tower?
Do you think he could be?
I don't know. It'd be funny.
It'd be funny.
It'd be funny. It'd be like, well, we're fucked. We got.
Yeah. No, I don't see him taking over in that regard. The one thing that I do like is that there's going to be a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life that are going to be, creating policy, and that's great. And I think I think there's a lot of important things that were on the ballot, and I think the people so there's more people that lean towards some conservative values than there are that lean to free for all, values or
Right.
whatever. Jeff is
We just had
finally
a couple
back.
of things that that
Hey,
didn't pass here.
I don't want to be on the bottom.
Well,
Go ahead, Devin.
what are you eating?
I want to be on the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of things here, like Florida, for a lot of our amendments that needed to be passed.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
We needed 60% or more,
Okay.
You guys want to have a good time?
which is stupid
No.
because now we don't get legal weed. We got to stick
Yeah,
to
I
medical.
heard about that. I think that's stupid. The recreational marijuana thing didn't pass.
Yeah.
So it got 55, like a 55 or 56%,
Yeah,
but it needed to be 60 or more
Yeah.
That's
from
crazy.
some amendment. Some amendment
Yeah.
that passed in 2006 that passed with a 57% vote rate.
Everyone.
Is marijuana decriminalized in Florida?
I don't know. I know it's medical, but at the same time,
So
I have a system.
You have a dispensary, obviously. You have dispensaries down there, but they're only medicinal
have
dispensaries, huh?
Yeah. You got to get a doctor's note for like
Now,
PTSD or AIDS.
Is that going to be something that can go to the county level? Because I know in Illinois it's a county thing.
Didn't Trump say he was going to do that?
I think so.
Leave it up to the states.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like the
I
Blair
think
Witch
the
Project.
problem with Florida. The problem with Florida is you still have you have a huge elderly population that's still
They're the ones that should be smoking weed.
That's true. It would make life a lot more fun.
Listen, these are the elderly people that we seen in the fucking Woodstock documentaries. These are the ones butt naked, on drugs, rolling around, fucking strangers, and now they want to act like grandma and grandpa, and like they're oh so innocent. Like, no, slut. All right, we see the videos.
True story.
Don't you call my grandmother a slut, man.
Listen, they know what true acid is. Okay, don't let them Don't let them act like they're so innocent. Those brownies and cookies that she bakes you all the time, she used to bake them with edibles.
I'm sure they are smoking it since it's medicinal. They can all get it.
Yeah. All right. So let me show you. I know you guys never get to see what Alexandria, Virginia is, DC area.
Looks miserable and sad, kind of lonely.
It's actually beautiful. Here, let me show you. So you can see the fall.
That was you.
All right, and
That's
then
gorgeous.
yeah, they got little townhouses here.
Looks very colonial.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
it's a very colonial town.
Yeah, it's a cool little place to be. It's a dope
Racism
city.
was fought there.
Yeah,
Great.
There was a lot of wars.
Happy you brought that up.
A lot of battles in Alexandria.
Yeah, I heard the Great Battle of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's Virginia.
You're in a very historic place.
Yeah, it is. But I also grew up in historic places. Boston.
Yeah.
You can't get more historic than that. Plymouth Rock. We didn't fall on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock fell on us.
Yeah, and then we came over, and then we took over the land and named it America, but kept names like Caloosahatchee and Okeechobee, just to remind them. Yeah, and Kissimmee. You think that's a colonial word? Nah, we were just too lazy to rename it.
Hey, so go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to ask you a question, Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
Can I smoke, or are we gonna get banned?
I wouldn't recommend smoking.
All right. So, what I wanted to ask you, that people don't really understand is you were a co-director of one particular show, The Comeback Kings, right?
Yes,
This was
yeah,
a
it was.
this was a show that ran in how many states?
We were in 140 cities.
140 cities. Those are helicopters. They're just leaving the Pentagon. Sorry, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for your new president, Donald Trump.
140
Hello.
cities. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't know what you were
140.
doing.
I was just waiting for that to marinate there. But
Gotcha.
140 cities, and so you co-directed this show, and
Uh-huh.
it aired on a major platform, correct?
Yeah, it was on public television, which is great. And yeah, it was
PBS.
awesome, man. It was a great experience. Not only was it awesome to direct a TV series, but it was awesome to direct a TV series with truly a hip hop legend for sure. With Ed Lover. I mean, Yo MTV Raps was the rap central, that, and then the basement back in the day with Tigger. And so yeah, it was not only Ed Lover, we also had Tretch from Naughty by Nature, which was awesome. Mr. Cheeks, Black Rob, rest in peace.
Mr. Cheeks is
Uh,
from the group The Lost Boys, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Lost Boy fam. And he's a hip hop legend as well. Tretch, another hip hop legend. So it was really just like breaking into that whole area. It was awesome. I mean, Jeff, you were there at the release party, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was. I got to see every rapper that I idolized during the '90s. That's for sure. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe the release party. And it was one of those it was one of those times, Devin, that I could explain to you. Usually it was it was Carpenter going to my show. He was very supportive of what we had going on, and it was the first time where I wasn't doing it and seeing something in him that was monumental, because this was a big thing.
Yeah.
This particular show, and so
Yeah.
I got to play the second string, and it was cool to be the second string and be introduced as opposed to me having to introduce.
Yeah.
And this is my man Carpenter right here. He does this. Carpenter was introducing me like, "Yo, this is my man Jeff. He does comedy and stuff like that." But you were taking me to places that I was just like, "How the hell did this happen? Like, how did you end up in this world?" I mean, it was every late '90s hip hop star that you were working with at the time. I mean, Black Rob. I mean, that song "Whoa" went like double platinum.
Nitro, like, whoa, might go like, whoa. Yeah. That whole track.
And
New
you do,
York,
and
New Jersey, go whoa.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
And you know what? And here's a little insider trade for you. So we had a shot one day where it was Jermaine Hopkins who played Steel in Juice with Tupac. And he had said something, and all we wanted Black Rob to say was "whoa," right? And this is what being a famous rapper in the '90s will do to you at a certain point in time. After a lot of drugs and a lot of drinks and a lot of things of that nature, it took us about 45 minutes to get just "whoa," to just get "whoa." There was always a lot of ad libs around it, and it was wild, but we had a great time. The other insider thing that nobody would know unless they were there was we had an episode where where Tretch was meant to wear a hot dog suit and be out on the street in Newark trying to sell hot dogs, which is a wild idea from the writers. But
not only is it right. I mean, this guy is hip hop hooray.
I know, yeah, and OPP and all that.
That's
like
cool.
This is so.
That sounds like a
so
good time.
it was like 95 degrees outside, and he was like, "There ain't no There's no fucking way wearing a hot dog suit out on the street. And he was yelling at. I think he was yelling at Ed. I don't know. Somebody was yelling at somebody. There was an argument, and as the director, I had to go in, and they send me in. And I'm like, you want me to go into this conversation, this argument between two hip hop legends, and mediate it? Okay, here we go. So we got Tretch to wear the hot dog suit, which was the thing that we were going for. So he wore it, but he wouldn't do it outside. So we had to marry those two. But we got the shot, we got it done. The show did pretty well, and then it was independently funded by a guy who still owes us north of $50,000. But he had a lot of good things going. He was big in the industry back in the day too. He was the guy who signed Jodeci, so that was his claim to fame. And apparently, those Jodeci record sales aren't doing so well since he owes us $50,000 still. But anyway,
sucks to suck. The guy sounds
He's
awful.
actually down in Florida now. I'm trying to find him.
Yo, I'm here.
Whoa.
Whoa, might go like whoa nitro. But yeah, so that was awesome. But the one thing too that I want to kind of touch back on is the Hard Knock Laughs Resurrection, the Still Knocking show, because
Resurrection gives me erection.
oh boy, I knew that was going to match up. So. But the thing about Jeff's show was when we were really in the thick of it, like when we were, 3 weekly shows, 2 different clubs, just going ham. The people that were on that lineup are now the people who are, I'd say, have some of the most viewers online. Schulte has millions of viewers that tune into his podcast now.
They're the standard of what comedy is right now.
Exactly. Yeah. And
you'll know them for 15 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson was doing the show. Jay Farrell was doing the show.
Jay was great to see. But even like people like Nathan McIntosh. I mean, how many times has he done the Tonight Show now? I mean, I applaud his success so much. Gina Brilliant is another one. I mean, she was one of the finalists to America's Got Talent. Now, that's a hard one to become a finalist on as a stand-up comedian.
Especially as a comic, yeah.
As a comedian, because America's Got Talent is just like, watch this pigeon flat on my asshole. And
pigeonhole.
Pigeonhole. Oh, now it makes sense.
You say the same thing enough.
Yeah.
but she made it up. She made it to as one of the finalists just from telling jokes, which was really impressive. And with Gina, Gina is one person that every comedian that I've seen that has become a success, they're deservingly so. They put the work in.
Yeah.
And Gina was one that like her success is like deservingly owed. She got offered to do an Amazon special and HBO special at the same time, and she told her management team, "I want to do them both."
Wow.
And they said, in the same year, you want to do 2 separate hours in the same year? She said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a phenomenal
that's
job.
A lot. That's tough.
Oh, incredibly. And she did it like a champ. She did it like a champ. When she was at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Vegas, I reached out to her and said, "Hey, I'd like to talk." And we had a conversation at a bar. And so she closed out a show where it was Jimmy Kimmel, Chris Tucker, and those are the only names I can remember.
Yeah.
But the fact that she even said those 2 names, and she had to be the closer on it, and she did it like a goddamn champ.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she's great. I love Gina. I love Gina, and no, she she's not just a great writer. She's a great performer. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so is Devin. So here's the fun fact. I used to see Devin when he was when he was performing at the comedy club we used to work at, Laughing Comedy Club. He's a regular there, guys. If you ever get a chance, please go ahead and see him there. But Devin established himself. I mean, he did from somebody that was struggling with 5 minutes to somebody that now can host, open up, and just recently he became a headliner.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Devin,
I'm
what was
trying.
that? What was that kind of like? I mean, starting with just 5 minutes and then now, like, because hosting is a completely different beast than just doing 15 minutes. You're up there for arguably most of the show, and
Yeah.
you have to continue the energy for everybody. So, what was your transition like from that, from just
It
doing
was
sets
fine.
to hosting?
It's nervous. I was nervous. It's still
Yeah,
nervous. It's work. It's always work. It's always something to try. Always something. I see no difference to it. I go up there, whether a cold crowd, a hot crowd, or somebody bombed. You go up there, and, you know, you let
yeah,
your work speak for itself.
yeah. Now, do you have a process for joke writing too, or do you just kind of go up there and do what comes up?
I'll just be driving. I'll just be, laying down smoking, and I'll be like, "That's stupid. I'm gonna write this
Yeah,
down."
yeah. So whenever something just pops in your head, you write it down, and then you
I'll
try it
just
out on
play with it.
stage, or do
Yeah,
you wait a while, or
I'll just play with it for a little bit.
like play with it on stage, or like do it
Yeah,
like yeah,
play with it on
okay,
stage. See if it really
yeah,
hits, and I'll run it by maybe one or two people, think what they think of the premise,
hmm.
and then
Yeah,
I'll go from there.
And
I
Jeff, would you say that's similar to how you conjure up your sets, your bits?
all right. So, I mean, you're one that could vouch for this. If I said my joke on stage once, it's because I said it 1,000 times on the street. I was
Yeah,
notorious where work in the streets, promoting shows was always reciting something over and over and over again. And so if there was a story that I thought was funny, I would say it over and over and over again. And
yeah,
it was a running theme. Did you hear Jeff's story today?
yeah,
Yeah, I heard that one. Yeah.
yeah,
Or yeah, I don't know what he's trying to get at. And then if I got enough responses, I wasn't really looking for laughter because you're
yeah,
dealing with, yeah, but I was looking for responses. And if I got a decent enough response, then I would go ahead and use it as a joke. And that's kind of how it worked. Your mind thinks in jokes, at least the way that I was trained. So my mind always thought in jokes.
yeah,
It was trained to think in jokes. I wasn't doing this at 4 years old, but my
yeah,
but if I just would tell a story continuous over and over and over again, and
yeah,
and that was a running theme when we were in Times Square. Is did
yeah,
you hear Jeff's new story?
yeah,
And it was entertaining for them, and it was fun for me. I mean, yes, I had 3 shows a week, but I was doing like a million shows a week because every
yeah,
conversation I had was a show. It was an
yeah.
open mic every single time.
So for me, like when we were doing the Week in 10 podcast or the live stream, basically, I had always thought kind of in joke manner, right? Because we were always going back and forth, you, me, and then Roddy was out there. We were surrounded by comedians or people that were trying to do comedy, or
Yes.
we're working in it.
Mm.
So that kind of got it there for me because with the Week in 10, we were writing our
Oh,
bits. It had to be structured.
if you could explain what Weekend 10 is, Devin has no clue what Weekend 10 is.
Yeah, so Weekend 10 was one of the first so Facebook Live hadn't even started yet. It was just Periscope at that point in time. So Periscope was the only live streaming thing that we could do. But we were working closely with Al Roker's media company, and they ended up building a live studio in their offices on 50th and
That's cool.
54th or whatever. And it was us and one other show. What was it?
Mhm.
Lenny Marcus? Is that who it was?
Lenny Marcus, Robert Kelly was in there.
Yeah. So not R. Kelly. Let's make sure we weren't working with R. Kelly. Yeah.
The
Robert Kelly is a different person.
the comedian Robert Kelly we got inside their studios.
Boy, that name has to suck somewhere down the line, right? I don't know.
He's done quite well
But
for himself, so I'm sure he's just.
no, I know. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so Roker's offices built a studio for us to kind of start doing this show. And what it was is it was basically Weekend Update, but like elongated. So the whole show was basically Weekend Update. We lost. There you go. And it was bits, but it was stupid bits. So our tagline for it was breaking the news.
The jokes that need to be broken did I still have that right yet? The
news worth breaking.
The news worth breaking. I always got that.
Yeah. So we would take like the most wild news stories basically and do a show about them. And you'd be surprised some of those headlines, man. Like some of that wild stuff. Like a lot of them did come from Florida. we could have called the podcast a Florida Man, but
was the horse semen bit from Florida?
I don't know. That one, it might have been. Then the Chinese restaurant that got sued for that little guy who pulled down his pants and would shoot out some, I think it was oil or water or something. Yeah, they got sued. It's bad when you try to sue somebody for a doll doing indecent exposure.
So
they still use them.
So to give you an idea, Devin, or whoever's listening, we had a week to come up with a 15-minute show about talking about current events, and there was three of us. We had a week, and we would take the day before or early in the morning, and we would go over the jokes that we've all written, and we would it was literally just throwing jokes out the window, like, well, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, this could work, this could work, this could work. It was really and there was one week where the objective of us being inside there was so it could give us an open door policy, so we can go ahead and try to pitch the projects that we felt could move. And so that's why we agreed to do this particular thing, because financially this wasn't a profitable thing. But we spent a lot of man hours on this, and it was cool to work with inside the industry of having an open door policy. It was the first time I've ever been able to just walk inside and be like, yo, I got this person. Yo, I got this person. Yo, I got this person. Yo, you should listen to this idea. It was the first time that I've ever dealt in that type of situation. I learned a lot, if that means anything.
Yeah, no, for sure. You and me both. It was definitely the week we tried to do it every day.
I'm sorry?
We all do.
I still got lots to learn.
Every day, buddy. Here we are working on something right now that we're trying to learn. So I mean, that's just the name of the game. I will say this: I don't regret any of those experiences. I do cherish them sometimes. Sometimes I think about. Sometimes I'll see a photo, or sometimes I'll see a video, and I'll smile, and only I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, only I get it. I'm just like, oh, wow, look at us. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at us. I mean, when we did the pitch pilot for Weekend 10, because it wasn't just like, hey, just do something. It was a conversation with Carpenter and the person we were working with at the time, Roddy. It was just like, yo, I think I have an idea. And we spent a whole day behind a green screen trying to conceptualize of what it was. We took a break, we grilled, we went back, we tried to do it, and then when we went and we only had an office, then we were only working inside an office,
Yeah.
and the most of the people that would watch, it would only be like 15 people, which is probably more than what's watching right now. But when we did that, it was mostly people from like Bulgaria.
Yeah.
It'd be like Bulgaria or something.
Facebook Live had just started, and
Yeah, they went on after Periscope. We did like 2 episodes of Periscope before Facebook Live was a thing.
I think arguably we were probably the first produced Facebook Live show.
Arguably, yeah.
I don't, yeah, because I mean we were doing it before it started, and then when it started, the first day we could go live, the first day they opened it up to being live, we were on.
Yeah, we had a TriCaster. I
Yeah,
don't even remember.
we had everything there. We had like green screen, and it was a really nice little studio actually.
Yeah, it was a nice setup for this time, and we were able to. I mean, it was great to work on. We worked on the comedic muscles enough where you had been doing it enough, working on that comedic muscle where when I had a show, you were just like, I'm ready to get on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dangerfields, the Dangerfields, and what was the compliment that Sink gave you?
Oh yeah. So Angelo Lozada, rest in peace as well. I feel like I've said rest in peace way too many times. It sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was his first night ever performing on Dangerfield stage, and he'd been in the game for how many years?
25 at least at that point.
25.
At least 25.
So Sink, who's a well-known New York comedian,
established.
Yeah, he's very funny. He came up to me after I did my set, and I had seen him perform. He knew me. He never knew me to get on stage because I had never gotten on stage. And when I got done, everybody said I did well.
You did fantastic. You did fantastic your first time. Yeah, I remember that.
And Sink came up to me and he said, "How does it feel that your first show ever was on Dangerfield stage? And Angelo Lozada, who's been in the game for 25 plus years, this is his first time on this stage." I was like, well, I never really thought of it like that, because I think I was so close to the comedy scene that not all of these things seem normal, right? Kicking it with Jay Farrow seemed normal. Schultz coming in seemed normal because it was for us, right? Like that, those things were a normalcy for us. And now we see that, these are actually huge accomplishments. Where the hell are you going, Devin? Bro just like slid off into his car and now is like on the way somewhere.
Yo, if I hear a girl screaming in the back, help me!
Oh, did they mute you? Oh, you're back now. Okay.
Yeah, but we did about hour 13. You guys want to do it? Go ahead and sign off now.
Yeah, for sure. We can go ahead and do that. So for the audience that has seen this or that will see it, this will be our first available episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It will also be reposted on YouTube. We'll repost it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All of these pages are going to be at the Fourth Wall Podcast _ separating the words. So yeah, join in. Next episode.
Yeah. Next time we'll go ahead and put that on the scrolling thing, right?
There we go.
What's that? We have the scrolling thing up.
No, the scrolling thing of where they can go ahead and reach us.
Oh yeah. So it'll be at the Fourth Wall Podcast, and it'll be just like this.
Oh, I'm excited.
The Fourth Wall.
And for those who don't know, it's Daniel Carpenter is chiming in from San Diego. I'm chiming in from Washington, D.C. And Devin Shire is chiming in from Florida. So it's people from all coasts of the country.
Yeah, if you direct your eyes to the bottom of the screen right now, you will see at the underscore fourth underscore wall underscore podcast. That's how you reach us on all channels. Our Facebook live, or I'm sorry, our Facebook profile is just the Fourth Wall Podcast. No underscores needed. But yeah, if you didn't catch the full show here, you will be able to catch the full show on Spotify and Apple shortly. We'll go ahead and drop that in today, and it'll probably out for viewers tomorrow. So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. My name's Daniel Carpenter. I'm your host here at the Fourth Wall Podcast, alongside Jeffrey Hernandez, who's one of our hosts as well, and Devin Papagiannis, Devin Shire, if you want to reach him for comedy. And Jeffrey Hernandez has Hard Knock Laughs that is coming back this April. We are going full swing in 3 major cities. So be sure to check that out. And when we are up and running and selling tickets, we'll of course post those links for you guys to check that out. But yeah, it's been a great time here today. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.